This part begins. And a few days pass. And now they all happen in Tianqingfang City. Then we see Ling Sisi and Li Lifeng. And Ling Sisi is saying, "Is this the city that Wentian sect and Qishan sect managed together? This is the first time I've come here." And Li Lifeng says, "Hee, I'm quite familiar with this place. If Junior sister is interested, I can tour you around." But Ling Sisi leaves Li Lifeng and goes to Feng, and says to him, "Brother Xiao, let's go shopping together later." And Feng tells Ling Sisi, not interested in. Then Tang Pei is saying, "This mission involves jointly guarding Tianqingfang City with the Qingshan sect. Everyone, make sure not to bring shame to our sect." And then a man says to Tang Pei, "Yo, Captain Tang, is everyone here?" And Tang Pei says to that man, "Li Steward, this is the disciple my sect has assigned for this shift. Thank you for your assistance." And Li Steward says, "Look at what you're saying. I can't trust disciples from your sect." Then Lin Mi says, "Please pay attention, everyone. Although the Qishan sect is a small sect, they have been our allies, so try not to damage our relationship with them." And Li Steward laughs and says, "So, from now on, I'll need everyone to follow my arrangements. Rest assured, I won't mistreat any of you. Person, head to the North Street. There's a good assignment waiting for you there." And Tang Pei turns back and says to Zhu Ming, "Zhu Ming, come with me." And Zhu Ming says yes. And both of them leave that place. Then Li Steward told Lin Mi about the last street. The people there are all one works well to avoid any conflicts. And Lin Mi is taking Ling Sisi with her, and she is saying, "Don't worry, there's no need to concern yourself about him. I'll take good care of you this time." But looking at Ling Sisi, it seems that she does not want to leave Feng. Then Li Steward says to Feng this, "Please go to South Street." And after listening to Li Steward, Feng says, "Why am I going alone there?" So Li Steward tells him, "You see, there are 4 blocks in the market, but there are 6 of you. There's always someone who ends up alone." And Feng turns back, then he says, "Okay, South Street, right? I understand." And Li Lifeng laughs and says, "Hee, second uncle, thanks a lot. I'll be sure to speak highly of you in front of the master later." And Li Steward says to Li Lifeng, "Hey, your matters are mine too, you can rest assured. The South Street is the most troubled street, even 10 people are not enough to handle it. I've specifically arranged troublemakers for him, he surely won't be able to complete your shifts. Let's go, accompany your second link to the West Street for some flower wine. There are a few girls over there, quite lively." And Li Lifeng says, "Thank you, Uncle Hee," and Feng is watching both of them secretly, and has heard everything they say. Then after this we see Jiangingfang City South Street. And at this place Feng has climbed on the roof, and he is saying, "Everyone, I am a rotating disciple sent by the Wentian sect, responsible for maintaining order here." And after listening to Feng, a man says, "Special grandmas?" Another one comes, and it's a fledgling cultivating qi. Another man says, "How many days did the previous one persist? Did they end up going back to the master in tears?" A girl says, "I don't know if I've played with this before." And a man is saying, "Remember, Stewardly said to listen, that no matter what he says later, the brothers should make a commotion and disrupt his plans." Then Feng says, "So, next, I'm going to announce my management rules." And Feng shouts, "First, starting from today, the tax on South Street will be reduced to 10% of the original level. No one is allowed to pay more." And as soon as people hear this, they all become surprised. And Feng is saying further, "Second, in the area under my responsibility, we emphasize freedom and informality. The sale of goods are unrestricted, and there are no inspections, regardless of the source. I don't care if what you have is black market or legitimate goods. Sell them however you want. Anyone who mentions word order in front of me is asking for trouble. Third, I have only one. Everyone is forbidden to break it. That is, no one is allowed to hinder everyone's prosperity. Consequences: death. Now anyone who objects can speak out. But no one says anything, everyone is happy with Feng's words." Then a man is saying, "Brother, are we still opposing this?" So his partner slaps him, then he says, "If you oppose it, you are a hammer. You will die." Then Feng says, so, I declare the opening of the market on South Street in the Taiyang district. And the next day we see a man holding something, and he is saying, damn. It's not easy to handle this thing. Everyone keeps asking about its origin. I heard South Street isn't a good place. If other places weren't closed, I wouldn't need to rely on luck coming here. And then someone places his hand on that man's shoulder. And when the man looks back, some people come together and cover him with a black cloth. And they take him away with them. And after some time, the man is brought to another place. And his face is covered with black cloth. The black cloth covering the man is then removed. And when the man looks around, he is surprised. But he is very angry, and he is saying, "What are you doing? Believe me or not." But when that man sees that there are very powerful people around him, he is surrounded by them, then he becomes very disturbed. Then he gets on his knees and says to them, "I'm kneeling on the ground." And when he looks ahead, Feng is sitting on a throne in front of him. And he is saying, "How much for the goods on you? I'll purchase it." And the man is surprised to hear this, and he says, 500, no. 400. But Feng plays a prank, due to which the man gets nervous. And he says, 300. This thing of mine has no money. Just let me go. Then Feng throws a bag full of money in front of the man. And he says, 500 spirits you wanna? Then the man takes the bag full of money. And Feng tells him, "Tell the brothers on your path that if you have anything to deal with in the future, just find me. As long as you say you're looking for Feng, the brother from Nan Street, I'll take anything you've got." And after listening to Feng, the man says, "Yes. Yes. I have excellent connections. I'll make sure to bring it to you." Then Feng asks him to leave. And he starts running away from this place very fast. But he thanks Feng while leaving. And then a few weeks pass. And we see that some people are talking. And a man is saying, "Is this the place Lao Jin was talking about?" And the other man says, "It doesn't look like it." Then the man goes near a shop, then he says, "Hello. Is there any better product here?" And hearing this the man says the password. Then the man says, "Ah. Right. We're here to find Feng, the brother from Nan Street." Then the man takes out the talisman, then he says, "Here are some ideas, open the door." And the man opens the door. Then he asks to go inside. And all those people are very surprised to see all these things. And then a month passes, and we see West Street Flower House. And we see Lee Stewart, who is getting a massage. And a man comes to Lee Stewart, and he is saying, "The disciples of the Wentian sect from North Street and East Street have already completed their trial." And Li Feng is saying, "How is the situation on South Street?" So the man says, "It's in a chaotic state. Completely unmanaged. Recently, we also received reports that someone is selling various unidentified items over there." And Lee Stewart said to Li Feng, "Haha. Heard it, nephew. That guy is definitely not getting through the trial this time." And Li Feng says, "Thanks, second uncle. Let's see how he handles it this time." Then both of them start leaving, and Lee Stewart is saying, "Let's go. It's the perfect time to gather your fellow disciples and witness that kid's miserable situation together." After this we see South Street Market. And Tang Pei and his team are leaving from this place. And those people are a little surprised to see this place. And Tang Pei is saying, "It's even more chaotic than an ordinary market. Where is the person in charge here? Xiao Yifeng. Come out." And then Feng comes on the call of Tang Pei. And he says, "I wondered who it was. Turns out, Captain Tang and Guan Li. Everyone come to South Street. Is there anything you need?" Then Li Feng says, Why do you bring so many people?" And Feng says, "I am discussing with the com bosses about renovating this place, so naturally we came over together. Do you have any questions?" And Lee Stewart says, "Ahem, we heard that Nanjifang City is very irregular. Not only does it pay insufficient taxes, but there are also some illegal things circulating. Xiao Yifeng, as you are supervising this place, why don't you deal with it?" And Feng says, managerly, "Why can't I understand what you are talking about? Everyone, have you ever made any illegal transactions?" And after listening to Feng's words, they start whispering among themselves, and they all start saying, "We are the most obedient. Obey the law. We are the best behaved." And after listening to his words, Feng says, "Look. No, Manager Ji, be careful, I'll sue you for filth." And after listening to Feng, Lee Stewart says, You are actually with these cheerleaders. Aren't you afraid of embarrassing your master?" But then someone says, "None of your business." And hearing this, Lee Stewart says, "Who is saying bad things behind your back? Stand up if you can." And then someone attacks Lee Stewart with a sword, seeing which Lee Stewart becomes very surprised. And he stops that attack. But he backs off, and Tang Pei says to Lee Stewart, "Are you okay, Manager Lee?" And Lee Stewart is saying, "Who? How dare you mess with my Qinshan sect? Get out!" And the one who attacks Lee Stewart is Mei King, and she is saying, "What happened if I messed with you?" And Feng is very surprised to see Mei King, and he is thinking, "Why is Su Miaoqing here?" And Lee Stewart says to Mei King, "Who are you and why do you intentionally hurt others?" So in response, Mei King says, "Haha. I'm just a passerby, and I can't bear to see you bullying handsome guys, so I decided to fight against the injustice." And after listening to Mei King, a man says, "This girl has great vision." Then Lee Stewart says angrily, "Where did you come from, you nymphomaniac? Today I am here to teach you a lesson." And he moves forward very quickly to attack Mei King. But Mei King stops Lee Stewart's attack by creating a seal. And Tang Pei is surprised to see this, and Mei King is saying, "Silly, motionless. Any effort?" And Lee Stewart is surprised to see Mei King's power, and he is saying, "Not good. Is it the best spiritual weapon?" And Mei King prepares a dangerous attack, seeing which sweat starts falling from Feng's forehead. And he is saying, "Oops. This girl is too harsh." And Mei King has launched her dangerous attack on Lee Stewart. And seeing that attack, Lee Stewart is saying, "It's over now." And Mei King's attack is about to hit Lee Stewart. And when Lee Stewart looks in front, he gets surprised and he says, I'm not dead." And an elder appears in front of Lee Stewart, and he would have stopped Mei King's attack. And Lee Stewart is surprised to see that elder. Then that elder is saying, "The female benefactor, at such a young age, could be so vicious?" Then Lee Stewart looks at that elder and says, "Elder. She suddenly hurt someone, you have to teach her a lesson." And the elder turns back, and says to Lee Stewart, "Waste. You can't even deal with a girl. Go back and think about your mistakes behind closed doors." And Lee Stewart gets scared after listening to the elder's words. Then he says to Elder Rena, "Girl, you hurt my sect, I advise you to follow me back to your sect and be punished, otherwise." And then Feng says, "Otherwise, what do you want to do to my disciples?" And as soon as he listens to Elder Feng, he gets angry. Then Feng goes to Mei King, and he says, "Senior sister, why are you here?" So Mei King says, Didn't I break through the foundation building, so I came to see you. Who would have thought that someone would bully you?" And Feng says, "Wow, sister's foundation building was successful. Congratulations to the teacher." And Mei King says, Hey. That is, I am your senior sister." And after listening to both of them, the elder is thinking, building a foundation at such a young age? Is this girl asking a high-ranking disciple of Tianzong? But she hurt people first. Even if her master came to find her, it would be my job to do it. It's just a good time to get some benefits. Then the elder says to both of them, "Ahem, you too. Since you are a disciple of the Wentian sect, you should not hurt the disciples of our sect. Qinshan sect and Wentian sect have always been on good terms. I must explain this matter to your sect." And Feng says to Mei King, "Senior sister, you did take a bit too hard just now." And Mei King says, "Spells, I can't quite control them yet." Then Feng says, "You are right, we have gone too far in this matter, and we are indeed wrong." And Lee Stewart says smilingly, "Weren't you quite capable just now?" And Ling Cece is getting worried for Feng. And Li Feng is smiling, and he is thinking, "Now let me see how you explain to the teacher." Then Feng tells them, "Let's do this. For your sake, I won't pursue the things that made things difficult for me before you sent your disciples." And hearing this, the elder gets very angry and says, "Bold. How dare you tease me? It seems that you are drinking wine as a penalty for not eating the toast." Today I will teach you a lesson on behalf of your master. And that elder is about to use some kind of power, and Mei King is saying to Feng, junior brother, don't be afraid, watch me shake people. Why? I can't move? And Feng says, how come I'm not affected? Could it be that elder? And he says to Elder Feng, what magic tricks did you use? Why can't I move? Feng also gets confused and says still. And then snow starts falling from the sky, seeing which people start saying, what's going on? Why did it suddenly snow under the blue sky? I can't move, what's going on? And that elder is looking up and saying, I wonder, which senior is coming? I am Sui Xian, the elder of the outer sect of Qishan sect. And then Guanghun comes to that place, and she says, who did you want to teach him just now? And when he sees Elder Guanghun, he becomes very nervous, sweat starts falling from his forehead. And he is not even able to say anything. Then Guanghun comes down and she says, I needed some special materials recently, so I asked Xiao Yifeng to help me pay attention to them. I wonder which rule he broke. Tell me, let me hear it. And after listening to Guanghun's words, the elder says, haha. Senior is joking. Young Master Xiao. He didn't break any rules. And Guanghun goes to Feng. And Feng gets confused seeing Guanghun coming near him. Then Guanghun gives the jade pendant to Feng, then she says, since he didn't break any rules, you should know how to deal with it. Then she disappears from that place. Seeing which everyone gets surprised, and Feng is saying after looking at that jade pendant, throat, this guy. Then Mei King tells Feng junior brother, senior Guanghun, she. And Feng says, don't think too much, it's just that I helped her before. By the way, the elder Luo of Qishan sect. And when Feng looks back, he gets shocked, because the elder is beating Li Steward. And Li Steward is saying to the elder, Elder, I don't know anything, elder. But the elder does not listen to anything Li Steward says. And he is beating Li Steward a lot. Then he says, bastard, I was almost killed by you. Then the elder says to Feng smilingly, Mr. Xiao, look, have I beaten you enough? And Feng asks elder to continue. And on hearing this, the elder starts beating Li Steward very badly. Then Mei King tells Feng, junior brother, is this okay with you? So Feng says laughingly, it's just for me to watch. He knows better than me how to act. Okay, senior sister, you've seen the excitement, is it time to go back? If what happened today is reported back, and Mei King says, oops, I know, don't tell master and Mrs. What happened today? And Mei King leaves from that place. Then Feng says to Tang Pei, sorry. As you can see, I'm a little busy. And Tang Pei says, junior brother. We had many misunderstandings before, I hope you don't mind. So Feng says, it doesn't matter. The master of the palace asked me not to spread the word, keep a low profile. And Tang Pei says, understand. I will take care of today's matters so I won't bother you. And Lin Mi is saying to Ling Cece, junior sister, the competition is too strong, why don't we consider something else? You have no chance to fight with the Lord of Guanghan Palace. And Ling Cece says, I didn't mean that. But Lin Mi is saying, oh? Then what do you mean when you looked at someone directly just now? And hearing this, Ling Cece is unable to say anything. And we see Li Feng, who is getting very angry after listening to Feng's praises. And he is saying, Xiao Yifeng, don't think that you can always be stable by doing things for the palace master. When the trial is over, I will make you lose face. And after this a few days also pass. Then we are told this, due to Lu Hanyan's intervention, the subsequent trials became extremely smooth. Then we see a man, who is going somewhere flying in a sword. And then he hears some sound, hey, that flying disciple in front. Then the man looks back and sees some disciples carrying a sword. And those people are saying, the assigned tasks have also become extremely simple. If you exceed the speed limit, you will be fined 20 spiritual stones. Then we see Feng looking at the spiritual stone and saying, the recent trials are no longer challenging, so forget it, let's continue practicing. And after this, soon, the end of the trial came. And the disciples are saying, disciples welcome the sect master and all the palace masters. Then we see the sect master. Who are speaking, everyone get up. Today is the end of Wentian sect's annual disciple training. After today, you can take on your own role and go down the mountain to practice on behalf of your sect. And Feng is saying, finally broke through to the 9th floor. After this time, it's best to go down the mountain. Xiao Yifeng practices the 9th level of Qi training. According to the rules, today, every disciple can choose one person to cut. Of course, don't be too harsh. Between the same sect, you can't do anything. Don't hurt peaceful. And the sect master is saying, I wonder, which disciple is willing to step forward? And then Li Feng comes forward and he says, Sect master, this disciple wants to challenge someone. Then the sect master says, oh? Yes, you actually succeeded in building the foundation. I wonder who you want to challenge? And Li Feng gives an evil look. And he takes the name of Feng. And then this video ends. If you want to see its next part, please subscribe to my channel. And also don't forget to press the like button. So see you in the next video. Till then, bye.